Hi everybody, welcome to the Soul Song. This is Nina and this is going to be a career, business, finance pick a card reading. It's going to reveal to us what's important, what's happening in the next 30 days. So whenever you come across this video is when it is relevant for you. Take only what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. It's a very general reading and a very general message, okay? So choose one from, or if you're feeling called to more than one, it's perfectly fine. We've got group number 1 with rose quartz. We've got group number 2 with tiger's eye, and group number 3 with green aventurine. Okay, so I'll see you in your timestamps. Hi group 1, for those of you who've chosen this rose quartz, let's take a look at your reading. We have the Two of Cups, the Empress, and Justice. Okay, we've got the King of Cups, King of Pentacles, and Judgment. Hold your vision, fixed moon. Nothing will come out of this situation. Void of course moon. No place like home. To be fair. Okay. You've got radiance. Ebb and flow. Indecision, and all tied up. Okay, so group number 1, the first message that I'm getting here is that you've reached a point where you need to make some kind of a decision, and you might be doing something that you actually really love. Okay, you might be, as far as your financial strength, financial position goes, you're in a good place. The Empress is an abundant energy. It is a very self-assured energy, and she's also, it's a Venus energy, so it's very favorable as far as your career, business, money is concerned. Okay, so I don't feel like there's anything missing as far as your social status or your finances is concerned. You're in a comfortable position, and yet there's something here, some aspect of the work that you're doing, either it is a legal proposition or some contract that you're a part of, that requires you to make some decision. Okay, the advice for you here has the King of Cups, King of Pentacles, and Judgment. Judgment again is about making decisions. It's about following your calling. It's about answering that call, okay, from within. But it's also mostly about reaching a stage where perhaps there's some reviewing, some assessing that needs to be done in order to course correct a little bit and then move forward. Okay, it's one step before the World card, which is about completions, culminations, and coming full circle in the Fool's journey. Okay, but what this is telling me is that there is some important decision, and there's also something that is actually calling out to you. If you're not in this position where you're doing something that you're feeling really called to do, then that is the advice for you especially. Okay, and that's where this comes in as well. Hold your vision, and no place like home. It's about being comfortable with in your own skin and being comfortable with your choices, okay, your decisions, and being authentic in that sense, and not compromising on what you actually want, what you actually desire, and what you actually envision for yourself. Okay, here there's a need for you to balance between your emotional side, as in right now you have the Two of Cups, which is quite an emotional card. Okay, in terms of a job, a career, a business, it is something that you love doing, but there's a need to also balance it out. Okay, like the scales in the Justice card as well as this card here, there's a need to balance it out with practicality and pragmatism, which comes from the King of Pentacles. And that's where perhaps you're needing to make this decision. The Judgment is like the major arcana of the Seven of Pentacles, you could say, where you need to review, assess a situation and look at it from a holistic perspective and see where do I want to go from here? Is this really serving me? Am I in alignment with what I really want to do and what I envision for myself? Okay, there is something that you will perhaps need to let go of. Okay, you could call it a sacrifice, or it could be I'm also getting that for some of you it's a negative thinking pattern, a negative way of looking at things from a very limited perspective that is blocking your vision, and that is keeping you from actually following what you really desire and what you really want to do. Okay, that's what I'm getting also with this indecision, all tied up, and this nothing will come out of this situation. It's almost like you know when it's the hesitance or the resistance you feel before actually getting into the thick of things and initiating something that you really really desire. Okay, there are definitely some decisions that need to be made here. You're also, on the other hand, you're also feeling quite restricted, quite limited, or there may actually be some restrictions because of what's going on in the world right now, and you might be beating yourself up all the more because of those restrictions and limitations, and kind of stalling this decision, stalling this new path that is calling out to you. So your advice here is to also go with the flow and to understand that it's not always going to, I'm hearing it's not always going to fail. So you might have previously faced failure, okay, in some aspect, in doing something that you really desired, that was like the perfect match for you. And at least that is how you perceived it, that maybe this didn't work out. And so right now there may be some thoughts, some pattern of thinking, of beliefs that is holding you back from actually paying heed to this calling. Okay, that's what I'm feeling here. And the Judgment is also about, like I said, about renewal, about reviewing. Okay, and we are in Mercury retrograde, so it's a great time for us to actually take stock of the situation before we can fully plunge into something new, and maybe revisit some aspects to see if we can shift them a little and give a new perspective to them. Okay, so there could be something here from the past that you can actually revive okay? If it's a lost dream, if it's something that you let go of because you were not feeling confident, or because you failed initially, or if you felt like you couldn't give it time, or whatever the reason may be, okay? So you're at this juncture where there is, you could say, a lack of clarity about which way to go, or what do I choose. There's also a need to be, I'm hearing consistent, okay? And choose one path. There is no wrong path. Choose one path and be committed to it, like the King of Pentacles. Be consistent with it, okay? Yeah, and have a more positive bent of mind, and work on perhaps your solar plexus chakra to enhance your creativity, passion, your zest for life, your self-motivation, willpower, your confidence. All of that can be enhanced by doing that. So this is what I feel is the most important message for you in terms of your finances. Again, I feel like it's in a stable position, but there is some need for pragmatism, a need for decision making, and holding on to your vision with fierceness, okay? And uh, not beating yourself up and restricting yourself in terms of what is achievable for you and what isn't, okay? Usually we're stuck between, we're in a indecisive position, not because both the options are good or both the options are bad. Usually it's because, not because one option is good and the other is bad. It's usually because both options or both paths are quite appealing. So that's where perhaps drawing these pros and cons of both the paths will help you see which one creates a balance between what you love doing and what will practically serve you as well, okay? And this is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn card. So also looking at how you can be of service as well as what would even benefit you, okay? It's all about creating balance here. So that's what I have for you, group number 1. Let me pull one card from this deck as final advice for you. So it's not always going to be highs, it's also going to include lows. That's what the ebb and flow is about, okay? Acceptance of that. So we have like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. In terms of career and finances, again, this is talking about the law of attraction and being, having that consistent belief in your dreams, in your vision, in order to attract that to you. The Empress is a wonderful manifester. She has the ability to attract things to her rather than chase things, okay? It's all about striking a balance there. And of course, you need to put in consistent action also in terms of practicalities. And also for some of you, perhaps something to do with legalities and contracts that you're under, okay? Yeah, so that's what I have for you here. Just keep your vibe high, and I'm wishing you all the very best. To take care of yourself. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Hi, group 2. For those of you who've chosen this tiger's eye, let's take a look at your reading. So we have the Fool. Wow. Okay. Knight of Cups. A Two of Swords. All right. Five of Swords. Two of Wands. and the Knight of Swords. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Okay. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. We've got TikTok. Building blocks. Cave. Sanctuary. Effortless. Happy family. Okay. An angel of strength. All right. So some of it is a little similar to the first group. So if you were indecisive, maybe you want to listen to that as well. I feel like you've reached at a point where you're feeling like you can't go on with what you were doing in a way. Okay. The Fool is the Zero card. It's in preparation. It's the curiosity of a teenage kid. The Fool carries no baggage. He is enthusiastic and all in as far as adventure is concerned, as far as being open to new experiences is concerned. So there is definitely some new beginning. For some of you, this could involve an offer coming your way, which is going to appeal to your sensitivities, to your emotions especially. It's something that would probably be creative. It would probably be, something that you enjoy doing. It's close to your heart. And yet, you're being indecisive about it. Okay, there's definitely some conflict here. The Two of Swords is a stasis, a stalemate, where you're not able to really decide. And why are you not able to decide? Because you are perhaps afraid of what's transpired in your past, and you're letting your past experiences somehow hold you back. Okay, in taking this leap of faith. This is probably something that you've never done before, or something that you are not familiar with. For some of you, it could involve travel as well, because we have the Fool and the Two of Wands here. So you might be indecisive because of that reason. You might be feeling, like, I'm not sure, I've never done this. This is too big a leap of faith for me. That is how you might feel. Okay, the advice for you here is Five of Swords, Two of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. And what this is telling me is that there's definitely a decision or choice that you need to make. Okay, you've got two twos here. And you might actually need to stand up for yourself in order to do this. Okay. Secondly, what I'm hearing is that you may be your own worst enemy, in that you may be holding yourself back because of some conflicting thoughts, conflicting ideas about who you are, what you're capable of, what you can do. That inner conflict is what this is suggesting to me. Okay, the Knight of Swords is someone who just goes for it. This is not someone who, it's actually one of the most impulsive knights. And when you have an idea, a thought, you've got swords here, swords here, swords here. You've got a lot of thoughts, okay, ideas, thoughts, inclinations. Then what do you do about it? You can either sit on the fence, okay, or you can go after what you're being called to do, okay, what you feel like pursuing. So the advice here is to actually just do it. Okay, to not sit on the fence, to not let your past hold you back. And yes, some adjustments may be required, but that has most probably something to do with your attitude. Okay, because you might not be, like I said, experienced in this new field of work or in this new area, this realm, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're, let's say, starting your own business, then it is very risky. It is that fool energy of, not having a past in that and not having the experience. And it might feel like you're just jumping off a cliff. But that is where that beginner's mind is important, the fresher's mind. Okay, and yes, you don't need to actually I would say you don't actually need to rush into anything, but you don't need to sit on the fence for too long either. Okay, this might be something that you need to build gradually from, block by block, from the very foundation. So that's something also that could, be fearful for you. But that you're not running out of time. Okay, you do have time. There's something here also about divine timing at play. Okay, and I know we hate hearing that, but that's what I'm feeling here. It's almost like you're waiting for the right time to initiate something, to do something that you're feeling called to do. Okay, for many of you, this is something artistic, is what I'm feeling. It's something almost that comes effortlessly to you. But the whole point here is that you may not be feeling all that comfortable, all that strong, courageous, bold to do this. And for some of you, it's probably something stemming from, your belief system that you've got from your family. They may be influencing your decision here, okay, in some way. And that's why it's important to just to tap into your own inner strength. Okay, that's where the angel of strength comes in. I feel like whatever this is, it's something that comes, like I said, effortlessly to you, and it's going downstream, like Abraham Hicks says. It's not going against the current, it is going downstream. But going downstream also requires you to actually, jump off the cliff or take that plunge. That is important. Let me get one last piece of advice for you. Group number 2. This might also be a home-based business for some of you. Okay, that's what I'm feeling here. Something that you want to do on your own, like a self-employment sort of situation. Okay, so these cards are all talking about expression and language. So you've got speak the language of love, then you've got action speak loudly, and at the bottom of the deck you have express love through gifts. Okay, I do feel like there is some kind of an offer coming your way. If not, this is an exciting idea that you have on your own that you want to pursue, some creative pursuit. Okay, this is again reiterating what I spoke about earlier, to speak to yourself kindly, and yes, put in the action, because not taking a decision is also taking a decision. Okay, so what happens is that you end up sitting on the fence for too long and nothing really shifts or changes. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself, your inner dialogue, and make sure you speak words of comfort, encouragement, to affirm that you are successful, that you can do this. Okay, because that's where this fear and this inner conflict is coming in. All right, so I wish you all the best, group number 2. I hope this helps, And yeah, do take care of yourself, and I'll see you again later. Bye bye. Hi, group 3. For those of you who've chosen this green aventurine, let's take a look at your reading. So you've got the Page of Swords. Alright. The Five of Swords. Okay. The King of Swords. Okay, you're all in your head, it seems, at the moment. The Ace of Pentacles. The Fool. Okay. Quite similar to another group. Maybe you were drawn to that as well. Queen of Pentacles. A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Step out of your comfort zone. Got Not for you. To the sea. Got Fog. Veiled. Focus. Okay. Got Broken Heart. And third chakra. Archangel Samuel. Alright. So, group number 3. Firstly, I want to say that your communication skills are really good. Okay, that's something that you can perhaps bank on. That's perhaps one of your key skills, you could say, that you can utilize on your job, in your career, and even to make financial decisions. Okay, your thought process. Right now, I feel like you're too much in your head though. There may be an inner conflict which is manifesting outwardly as well, and it may be showing up in, getting mixed signals from the universe, and you feeling agitated or feeling like I don't know what sense to make of this. You might be feeling like quite anxious as well. Okay, but more so I'm getting like a frustrated sort of energy. What I'm feeling here is that in terms of your advice, you need to firstly step out of that mental energy. Too much of overthinking is perhaps going on. What's happening is that you're not being able to listen to your heart very clearly. And so even though there are a lot of thoughts going on in your mind, they're not really helping you gain clarity in some way. But in the next 30 days, you will reach a point where you will gain that clarity. Right now, I feel like you're not there yet. Okay. You might also be feeling indecisive, not sure of what to do, not sure of where you're being led, what lies ahead for me, things like that. And what I feel is going to happen is that you're going to get an idea, or perhaps even an opportunity. Some communication might come about, whether it's external or you get an idea and it's an inspired thought to act on something. That's going to require you to actually decide and be affirmative. Okay, be assertive as well. And that's going to impact your career trajectory moving forward. What I feel is required here though is for you to step out of your comfort zone, and it will involve some risk taking. So that very well means that this is something that is going to be a new opportunity or a new path, okay, that you're embarking on. At the same time, there's a need for you to ground yourself, to be more practical and actually put in the action, be consistent with what you're doing, but most importantly, you're going to have to initiate. Okay, and for that, you need to be open to taking that leap of faith, stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something that perhaps is quite scary, quite, overwhelming also for some of you. And you might feel underconfident, but that is something that you need to let go of. There's something that is, I feel like there's a cleansing, a releasing that needs to happen here. In order to invite something new, be it a new opportunity or a new idea that you feel inspired by, there's a cleansing of the old that needs to take place. Okay, and I do feel like for many of you, you have been in this foggy state for some time now. So there's a need here to focus on one thing at a time. The Five of Swords is also about, having different ideas which conflict, which contradict each other, or which may not gel well together. So there's a need for you to pick that one sword from there and perhaps use your experience, whatever you've studied, whatever knowledge you've gathered, and use that experience, that knowledge, to follow that one path that you're feeling really, really called to do. And for most of you, it's the path that you haven't taken so far. It's a leap of faith. It is something that might frighten you, okay? But eventually it is going to bring you stability. It's going to bring you rewards in terms of material, success, prosperity, abundance, things like that. But because you also have the solar plexus chakra here, there's that hesitance, there's that lack of will, perhaps lack of confidence in yourself, which is hampering you in some way. So you could work on your third chakra, on your solar plexus chakra. Work with yellow stones or tiger's eyes, also great, and that will help you feel motivated. I feel like for a lot of you, that motivation is missing, okay? And you're feeling fogged in, you're feeling unclear, you're feeling confused, and there are a lot of thoughts going on, but they're not, like I said, leading to clarity, okay? So there's a need for you to be open to something new as well. The Fool is the Zero card, where it's in preparation. You haven't really started the journey yet, but to create that space where you're open to taking that first step, you need to first reach that place of nothingness, or you could say where you're ready to let go of past baggage, past failures, perhaps past heartbreaks, and actually prepare yourself to take that first step in a new direction. Okay, for many of you, this could also involve like a practical contract or something like that could be coming your way, some emails, some communication, but there is a sense of inner conflict here. Okay, but I feel like it's also important for you to believe in yourself and to stand up for what you actually want to do. For a lot of you, I feel like it's inner conflict that is arising from previous experiences that have tilted towards failure, you could say. But then it's just a matter of correcting the way we think and our attitude, and bringing back that sense of confidence, strength, willpower that we all have. Okay, you might even want to work with the amethyst to get clarity on your vision, on what you want, and be very decisive. Okay, because that is clearly missing as of now. It's like you're drifting away and you're not really sure of where you're heading, where you're going. Okay, but for a lot of you, that new path is going to be completely new. It's going to require you to do something that you've not done before, or to have a complete new beginner's mind in an existing situation. So it could work either way. Okay, and there is I want to read a little bit from this, for this card from the book. So just give me a second, I'll do that. So the book says the teaching is: the full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare with rash comments or decisions. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just or is about to come to a peak, perhaps in a rather heated way. There could be a price to pay if you have been too competitive or too blunt. Okay. So this goes in really well with this energy here. You might actually be in an environment where you need to stand up for yourself, and there may be a lot of competition. There may also be a lot of this passive aggressive behavior of coming from either your peers or your boss. Okay, and there may be even some spying, some gossiping, some sneaky kind of behavior, or that underhanded sort of behavior which happens a lot in offices. Okay, so that's perhaps why this conflict is stemming up for you. You might even have in the next 30 days some confrontation with somebody who is in an authoritative position. Okay, it will probably hurt, but then it's going to push you in a direction where you are required to take a step in a new direction and take a risk, perhaps. Okay, there may also be a woman who helps you out with practical decisions, or with an offer also, perhaps. Okay, but there's definitely something that needs to be released here, something that needs to be let go of, something that's not really meant for your highest good. So stepping out of your comfort zone is what you're getting into, and aligning yourself with your north node, with what you're actually meant to do. Okay, so yeah. I hope this helps. I hope it's brought you some sense of clarity or validation, and I'm wishing you all the very best. Do take care of yourself, and I'll see you again later. Bye bye.